Yes, my name is Stephen Mwalili, and this is Whispers Wire Online TV. We are at Nairobi Serena Hotel. We are here for a big day as far as sports is concerned. Today, we have unveiled our new coach for Harambee Stars, Benny McCarthy, and I'm with one of the legendary journalists, someone I respect so much. How are you, Radull?
Hey, legend is a big word. I'm fine, thank you.
You are a legend. You're feeling good?
What's the question? I'm good.
First, today you are the MC of the day. How is the feeling being an MC of such an event?
For me, it was a no-brainer. I'm a big believer in the current FKF office. I've known Hussein Mohammed for the longest time, so when Hussein or Mariga call, you pick it up and you adhere to what they're saying.
Yeah.
What I got out of today is that they have done really good research before selecting Benny McCarthy to be the coach of Harambee Stars. You heard from Benny himself today. He's very passionate. He is skilled. I know there's been a lot of apprehension about how much experience he has. I believe he has the skill, the drive, and the passion to take Harambee Stars to the next level. It's not going to be easy. But what has been missing, even from past coaches, has been mostly the support from behind the scenes. I don't think it's been the coaches. Otherwise, Ghost and Kimanzi and all these other national team coaches would have taken us to the World Cup. It's about the support he's getting from behind the scenes. And this administration has committed to do that. You heard from a government official saying the government is also committed to ensure that this partnership with Benny McCarthy works and give him everything he needs. I also like the fact that he's going to be scouting across the country, because we always feel that a certain select people get called up to the national team, yet there are people who never get the opportunity to be seen, yet they have the skills from all parts of the country. So the fact that Benny's willing to do that as well, I think is great.
During the event, I heard you making a joke with Fred Arocho that you are old enough than him, that you have been following Ben McCarthy for a long time. Is this someone that you have been following for a longest time, and how long have you been following him?
Well, he stopped playing in 2013, 2014, but I watched him in his Porto days. I didn't watch him in the league Porto days, but as Porto advanced in the Champions League, nobody could ignore this team that is not a traditional winner of Champions League advancing. Even Mourinho, we never used to pay attention to Mourinho. But that for me is when I really began to watch him in the club, at club level. In the Champions League in Porto. When he was in Blackburn, I follow the Premier League, and I don't just watch Arsenal games. So, of course, in his time at Blackburn, he was one goal shy of winning the Golden Boot, and he was beaten by Didier Drogba. So, of course, there was that attention to who's this other player, who's going to take the Golden Boot, until the last day, who's going to take the Golden Boot. So I followed him during that period. 1998 World Cup, not so much. I knew South Africa were back in it, and I knew that Benny McCarthy scored the first ever goal for South Africa. He scored against Peter Schmeichel. I think I was watching Peter Schmeichel, and who's this guy from South Africa scoring against him? And then I didn't watch South Africa too much in 2002, I won't lie. But I linked up again with Benny in 2012. That's when I actually first met him, when I was working for Supersport. And he was a daily analyst on one of the shows I was hosting out of South Africa. So that's when I first got to meet Benny. And at the time, he was playing for Orlando Pirates. He's the reason I'm a Pirate. So I've actually known him for a very long time, not on a personal level, on a professional level. And I guess I was as apprehensive as the next Kenyan when he was selected. But do your research.
Yes. You are one of the biggest critics when it comes to sports here in Kenya, especially through your social media. When you see something that is not right, you are the first person to raise a hand and say something. Now that we have Ben McCarthy on board, one word, are you confident enough that now Harambee Stars will get to the next level?
I'm hopeful.
Yes.
I don't see why not.
Yes.
I know people would like me to say I'm confident we're qualifying for the next World Cup, but anything can happen in football. Yes. We've seen people pledge to support. We need to see that support happening. Benny has pledged to go around the country to pick the best players. FKF has pledged not to interfere with selection. If everything goes as planned, then yes, I am confident that Harambee Stars can... First, let's be a regular in AFCON. Let's be regulars at AFCON. Let's do well at AFCON. World Cup would be a really great added bonus, and why not? We have the talent in this country. So if we do the selection correctly, if government also comes in and contributes to the development of a new generation of players, because remember, it's not a one-off. The players who are playing now have trained to their level. Let's look at the youth and train the next generation. So that's why they kept saying, be patient, be patient, be patient. We're not going to win these trophies tomorrow. We're not going to qualify tomorrow. We can, but if we don't be so harsh about it. It's a process. We have to use a cliche, trust the process.
During the event, you asked FKF President Mr. Hussein Mohamed a very difficult question about the issue of salary and the scandals that are all around. Are you satisfied with his answer because he directed to the government?
At this point, I choose to be positive in how we are going to receive what is happening in Kenyan football, not just the selection of Benny McCarthy, but generally in Kenyan football. I know for a fact that Hussein and Mariga and Harold, the CEO, their hearts are in the right place. They want to do the right thing. They need all the support they can get to make these things happen, including making sure Benny McCarthy gets paid. I don't believe the Hussein I know, and I've known Hussein for almost 2 decades, would hire a coach like this, knowing that he's not cheap, if there wasn't a plan to make sure he gets paid. So in that aspect, I believe everybody wants it to go right. I don't want to say it with certainty because then you'll use me as a meme in 5 years. But I believe the intentions are well. The intentions are good.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, and we are hopeful as Kenyans.
Let's be hopeful. I think we've been too negative. I know the guy used the word toxic, which I don't disagree with completely. I think the word I would use, though, is passionate. Yes. I think when we are so passionate, we rightfully feel we deserve a successful national team. Okay. We, the fans, there's not much we can do but complain. We have a federation, we have a government, we have the ducks in a row. Why are things not working? So I understand those fans who are apprehensive and toxic in quote. I think it's just the passion that I want this to work. The fans just want this to work. So my plea to the fans, give time. When Kenya's playing a home game, and I wish government officials were here today to tell us we will play home games at home, let's turn up and support these teams. Sure. Let's give Benny the support he needs. If things don't go as planned, you saw at the end what I told him, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, a lot.
We're friends, but let's be professional. Even in our criticism, let's be a little bit professional. Okay. If you see right nowadays, even when I complain on social media, and by the time I complain about something on social media, I've made calls behind the scenes. You won't see me going and saying, hey, the coach has not been paid or whatever it is. By the time you see me post that, I have called the federation, I've followed up, I've called the government, I've called everybody to make sure that is the fact. Right nowadays, I don't rush. I try to solve a problem. Okay. Because the problem is not one person's. It's not Hussein alone to solve. It's not Mariga alone to solve. Do you know that if the fans turn up in numbers for every single Harambee Stars game, corporates will be lining up from here to Nakuru to sponsor the national team? And if they do that, we'll have the resources to make sure they get paid, whatever figure they raise. So we also have a responsibility. Let's stop this, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. I'm a fan, it's my fault. I'm a Kenyan who wants to criticize, it's also my fault and my responsibility.
Thank you so much. That was senior sports journalist here in Kenya, Caroll Radull. And as she has said, I don't want to add anything, but as Kenyans, let's be patriotic, let's support Harambee Stars, and hopefully we are going to fly to the next level. My name is Stephen Mwalili, and this is Whispers Wire from Nairobi Serena Hotel.